Saturday quadruple header of SFL action concludes in the peach state of Atlanta, or the peach state of Georgia, in the city of Atlanta. And at the Hive, the Atlanta Swarm hosting the London Knights in a battle of two teams trying to right the ship as we've hit the halfway point of the season. Hello and a very warm welcome. I'm Michael Tramillo, your play-by-play commentator. Alongside me is Wade Phillips on analyst and the heroes, David and KT on stats. Wade, good night.
Hey, how you doing, Michael? Doing pretty excited to see this London team take on Atlanta and see if London can get their first win of the season against a more veteran-heavy presence of Atlanta.
The Atlanta Swarm, the reigning SFL champions, in their championship tribute uniforms tonight, trimmed in gold. We're down to the field for the coin toss. London from across the pond in all white tonight. And it'll be interesting to see if the London Knights can get a win on the board, this being week 6. They've played a couple of close games. Don't go anywhere. Kickoff is next. London won the toss, elected to defer. That means kicker JT Delaney has the ball on the tee. He has his hand in the air. The whistle blows, and it's game on from the Hive in Atlanta. Kendra Hall, the rookie on debut, back to receive and goes all the way out of the back of the end zone. It will be a touchback. Here is the Atlanta offense, the rookie. Bryant Dynasty is the quarterback. BDG Hollywood, the running back. Mitchell O'Brien next to him at fullback. The debuting Kendra Hall is at wide receiver alongside Siege Falco and Boo Chisholm, and Jamal Wooding is the tight end. After the touchback, they'll start first and 10 at their own 20-yard line, going right to left in this first quarter. Dynasty with a full house behind him, drops back to pass, swings to the far side. Hollywood, two men miss on a spin move, and he will eventually be brought down after an 11-yard gain by William Davidson, Telemax Scarborough on the tackle. Here's the London defense. Joe Duncan, William Davidson, Zach Turner, and Dean Sammy are the defensive line. Jeff Gagne and Telemax Scarborough, who just made that tackle, the linebackers. Tanner Hendricks and Brandon Ewing, the corners. Bo Martin Jr., Marquise Reed, and Jack Russell, the safeties. Another full house, this time a handoff to Hollywood, trying to bounce it outside, and he does, and he's got one man to beat as he goes down to the sideline. A tackle is missed, but he will be cut from behind as he gets across midfield to the London 43-yard line. Fast start for Hollywood.
Indeed, Hollywood got that first swing pass that during our pregame we talked about how this could be a very swing pass heavy game, and now Hollywood just picks up right after that play and picks up a big game.
Both of these defenses are bottom 6 in the league in terms of against the run. So we could be seeing a lot of rushing tonight from both sides. Now on the London side of the field, the 43, swing pass to the near side left. Hollywood, plenty of space again, and he rumbles through one tackle and eventually gets pushed out of bounds to the 19-yard line into the red zone for the first time after only 3 plays.
Yeah, there's 3 plays, 3 first downs, and they are just rolling, and Hollywood looks to be a big contributor here today.
From the 19-yard line, first time we're seeing an offset eye with twin receivers for the Swarm. Packing the boxes, London, they only send 4. Dynasty off his back foot, gets it away short, and over the middle for a gain of 5. That's Siege Falco picking up his first catch.
5-yard gain, and already Bryant Dynasty is looking sharp on his passes. That's 3 for 3, and if he can continue this way, we're going to see Mr. Consistency rather than Mr. High.
Dynasty avoided the rush very well on that play. Trips left, single right, for 2nd and 5, going to the end zone in double coverage, knocked away. He was looking for Boo Chisholm in the end zone, and Telemax Scarborough got a hand to it.
Very dangerous. There were 3 white jerseys I think I saw, and Dynasty kind of threw it up there hoping to find a soft spot, but unfortunately there were just too many white jerseys around.
And maybe still a little bit of rookie jitters and mistakes coming out from Bryant dynasty. He stands in the shotgun this time. 3rd and 5 from the 14. 3 wide receivers to aim at. 4 on the line for London. With 9:11 to go, first quarter. Dynasty under pressure. Down he goes. Back at the 23-yard line. The London defense does very well to stand inside the red zone and will force a field goal from the 23. First sack of the game for the Knights, and it's Tony Adamson.
And that was just a great defensive stand right there to get the sack. And he had nowhere to go, and the pocket just collapsed on him and had just nowhere to go with it.
The kicker for Atlanta is Sammy Steele. He'll try this one from 29.5. Snap is down, kick is away, and it is good from 39 yards. So Atlanta converts their opening drive into 3 points, and I think we saw some vintage Atlanta offense for most of that first drive, Mark.
Indeed. They really showed why they won and are such a prolific team, and it just shows that they're sticking to their game plan and just methodically driving.
Sammy Steele now 7 for 7 on the season, and he's got the ball on the tee at the 30-yard line. It's about that time for the London offense to take the field for the first time. His kick is away. Justin Zeck is back to receive, and he'll field this one at the 1. He'll bring it out to the 10, 15, 20, slides through a tackle and gets crushed at the 24-yard line. Here's the London offense. Angus McLean, the quarterback. Box High Wind, Vin Kalia, and Dustin Zeck, the wide receivers. Robert Merrill and Iggy Swift are in the backfield. Tight ends Benji Matson and Dayton Rhodes. 3 wide on offense, 2 in the backfield for London. 1st and 10 for the 24. Handoff right up the middle. Robert Merrill, he will get nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage, and not an inch more as Joshua Williams made the tackle. Here is the Atlanta defense. Chris Porter, Leo Jefferson, Josh Williams, who just made that tackle, and Billy Ray Valentine are on the defensive line. Aquantis Shide and Dylan Rowland, the linebackers. Connor Darien, Jay Miraculous, and Blake Hamrick, the corners. Moose Papineau, Aaron Lee, and Chris Henry, the safeties. Fullback dive for Iggy Swift. Picks up 5 yards, 3rd and 5 from the 29.
So up till this point, on paper, Atlanta has one of the worst run defenses in the SFL yet. To this point, granted, it's 2 plays in. They've held them to a respectable 2.5 yards per carry. So, hey, we'll see if that war of attrition up front really pays off.
Atlanta has allowed 8 rushing touchdowns against this season. That's the most to the SFL. 3rd down and 5. McLean to throw for the first time. Pressure coming, dumps it off short, and plenty of room to run for Robert Merrill as he snakes his way through the defense past the 50 and down at the Atlanta 49.
The former wide receiver converted to halfback recently shows that speed and those hands, and just picks that open space and just weaves his way through. Picks up a huge gain that sets him up on a nice near the 50-yard line. It's going to set him up.
Fantastic blocking downfield from the offensive line of London. I saw a tackle and a guard all the way out there about 15 yards downfield blocking for their running back. Now on the Atlanta side of the field at the 49-yard line. 7 minutes to go first quarter. Atlanta has a 3-0 lead. McLean with the snap. Fires short over the middle. That's caught by Merrill. And Merrill is dropped for only a gain of 2.
That time, not much happening. That was really his only option. He hit him, got positive yardage, which is good. Looking for more, obviously, on the next play.
McLean under center. 7 in the box, practically 8 in the box for Atlanta. McLean will throw. McLean goes down. He had no time to look downfield as Joshua Williams has his 3rd sack of the season.
Joshua Williams, one of their veterans, the only veteran on the defensive line, but one of the veterans on the defense, really showing why he is one of the leaders on their defense.
That is Williams' 21st tackle of the season and 3rd sack. The 5th season veteran spent all 5 seasons here in Atlanta. Now 3rd and 13. It's going to be on the arm of McLean. 5 wide set. He stands in the pocket. He launches it downfield at a tight coverage. He tipped it in the air, and it is incomplete. It was in and out of the hands of Status Lazenby. And it will be 4th down.
That was just I bet you couldn't hear a pin drop on that field with everything going on. There were blue shirts, white shirts everywhere, but luckily it was a harmless incompletion.
An equal amount of times you will see that deflected and intercepted and deflected and caught. So hitting the ground was pretty shocking. The punter for London is Phil Hunter. He gets this one away from his own 45. Try to pin Atlanta deep. And Kendra Hall with a nice return. Breaks to the far sideline and is brought down up near midfield with the 47-yard line. So a net gain of only 4 yards for the London defense after a terrific return by Kendra Hall, who is making her debut tonight.
Yeah, Kendra Hall showing electricity on that return, and she'll look to provide more of that for this offense and special teams unit. Really good showing so far for her today.
The 6'4" receiver picked up this week. And Atlanta goes back to work with a 3-0 lead. 5:44 to go first quarter. From Atlanta is the fourth and final game of the night here on Saturday. Full house. Sweep side handoff. Hollywood tries to spin away from a tackle, but it'll only get 1 yard as he was caught from behind. And it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Atlanta just couldn't get any push on that, and London just swarmed to the ball and stopped BDG before he could get anything started.
Two receivers to aim at to the right of an under center Bryant Dynasty. Dynasty goes long. Dynasty has a man behind the defense, and it is caught. And walking into the end zone is Jamal Wooding, the tight end, for a touchdown. Atlanta, his first of the season.
To be a vertical threat today, gets behind the defense and just tortures them. They let him release, and he just beat him and got that, and that was just a perfect hookup by Bryant Dynasty. That makes his 13th touchdown of the year.
Well, I'm telling you what the mismatch was. The mismatch was Televac Scarborough, the linebacker, on Jamal Wooding, the tight end, and there was just no way Scarborough was winning that matchup.
For sure. Jamal Wooding has way more speed than I thought he would, but, man, he's showing me something today.
Steal on for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Atlanta takes a double-digit lead just like that. It's 10-0, 5:10 to go first quarter. Atlanta over London. And with that, Jamal Wooding, that's his first touchdown of the season, and he gets over 100 yards receiving on the year. And Mike Daggs and the Mexico City offense this season has really prioritized the deep threat tight end, and then we see it being used by Atlanta. Mike Daggs leads the league in both receiving yards and receiving touchdowns, as London will start from their own 24.
When it works at that level, why not try to replicate it? I mean, you see it's effective when it's used correctly, and hey, if they can get it to work, by golly, use it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched plenty of Mexico City games this season. They run that exact play where the tight end gets matched up against the linebacker 10, 15 times.
Yeah, well, it's good to see someone's using it effectively.
1st and 10, wrapped up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage is Robert Merrill. Excellent pressure from the edge by Billy Ray Valentine.
Billy Ray Valentine just blew up his man and got pressure instantly and just kills his man in the backfield, and just the tackle whiffed on him, and he just got untouched to the ball carrier.
It looked like a wrestling move as he wrapped up his legs.
Indeed.
And dragged him to the ground from behind. Either way, it's a loss of 3, 2nd and 13 for London. From the 22-yard line. Oh, they tried a fullback handoff, and it is going to go nowhere. Excuse me, that was Merrill again, as they faked the fullback handoff and gave it to Merrill, and he's going to go backwards another 3 yards. This time, the other defensive end, Chris Porter, got to him.
Yeah, that looked like a gang tackle. Chris Porter and Leo Jefferson really got in there instantly and brought him down.
Now 3rd and a country mile. That'll be 16 yards. Got to get to the 35-yard line for a first down. They stand at their own 18. McLean over the middle fires a dart. It's going to be close, and it's going to be a first down. How about that for a little magic in your hat status? Lansby, who dropped a potential first down pass on the last drive, comes through with a first down on this drive.
There we go. Clutch right there. Brings it in, a little quick hitter, and brings it in, stretches that run for a first down, and you got to give him credit for really extending that yardage.
And dragged Jay Miraculous, the cornerback, about 4 yards to pick up the first down of the 35-yard line. Three wide out to the right. Tight end is also there. Single man in the backfield is Merrill. Hit as he throws as McLean throws it into coverage, and what a high-pointed catch at the Atlanta 45-yard line. First down, London. And Fox Highwind, that is Dustin Zeck makes his presence known in the ball game.
McLean threw it up and kind of into traffic, and Dustin Zeck really went up and high-pointed it and brought it down. Great pickup and first down.
Zeck, only 6'2", is the shortest receiver on this core. Here's a run up the middle. That's Iggy Swift for 2 yards.
Absolutely laid out by Dylan Rowland, but picked up 2, but Rowland just said, nope, not anymore.
This first quarter has flown by, already under 3 minutes to go. London at the Atlanta 43, facing a second down and 8, down 10-0. Looking for their first win of the year. Linebackers playing well back in the 4-man front. Oh, the 4-man front goes right through like a hot knife through butter and sacks Angus McLean back at the 48-yard line. Joshua Williams again.
Oof, he has just shown up big, the veteran, just shown why he is just an absolute stud on this defense, and just that's second sack of the day and 4th for the season.
And now 3rd and long, 3rd and 13, 5 wide. Nobody in the backfield. McLean under center. McLean with time to throw, throws it downfield, tipped up in the air and incomplete, as was deflected away. And it'll be 4th and 13.
Aaron Lee's kicking himself that he didn't come away with that. It looked like he might bring it down. Unfortunately, just skids off his hands, but just a great heads-up play by him.
So on for the second time today is Phil Hunter. Kendra Hall back to return. Remember, Kendra had a very nice punt return last time, and that kick is almost blocked away from the 40-yard line. Fair catch called for and taken at the 12, so Atlanta will be backed up in their deepest starting field position of the night. 2 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the first quarter.
That time she played it safe and played the smart decision, just called for a fair catch instead of trying to get greedy and try to make something out of nothing.
First and 10 from the 12. 2:02 to go, first quarter. Swing City again. Here's Hollywood, room to run, and a spin move to take him back past the first defender. And a first down out to the 25-yard line. And we've been seeing they've already gone to the Hollywood well early and often in this game, and they've been rewarded with a 10-point lead.
That they have. And really, they've just got to keep trying it until London can show that they're going to stop it consistently, because why not? Until you go to the well way too much and they just know when you're doing it. Do it until it just doesn't work.
And the London defense has been not queuing up on it that much. He's had 10, 15 yards of clearance whenever he touches the ball on the outside. First and 10 from the Atlanta 25. Here's a fullback dive, first touch of the game for Mitchell O'Brien, goes for only 1. You can download CrowdPlay, our new partner for 2020, and play the game about the game. Follow the action and answer questions for a chance to win a share of the $1,000 prize pool. Your next chance to win is Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, when the league-leading Denver Nightwings host the surging Arizona Scorpions. Visit crowdplay.com for more information. Up the middle again goes O'Brien, and he gets 2 more, 3rd down and 6.
They're really trying out O'Brien to soften up the middle, which could set him up for some Hollywood swing routes and out and stretches and whatnot. But really trying out O'Brien. I like that. I love when the fullback's involved.
O'Brien only had 9 carries for 19 yards in last week's game. This time, Dynasty alone with 5 to aim at. And he'll move in the pocket and throw down the field, and it's tipped up into the air and intercepted on the deflection. London taking it the other way, and they will have the ball inside Atlanta territory at the 48-yard line. Brandon Ewing has his first interception of the season.
He had plenty of time to throw back there, picked his target, but really just threw it to number 21. But Jack Russell, but unfortunately was tipped and brought down by Ewing. But that was just kind of a questionable throw because really it was in coverage.
First and 10 for London. 22 seconds left to go. First quarter at the Atlanta 48. Here's a swing pass of their own. Robert Merrill does a little BDG Hollywood-esque spin move and will pick up 5 yards. So Brian, Dynasty just threw his first interception of the night, threw 3 last week as Chicago beat Atlanta 17-14. And that's the one thing you'd think that he really has to iron out of his game if he wants to get better. That's the end of the first quarter. Swarm 10, Knights nothing, but London has the football. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Welcome back to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. The final game of a 4-game Saturday slate between the Atlanta Swarm and the London Knights. Handoff, Robert Merrill running left side, gets a nice block, and he will pick up a first down to the 36-yard line. I'm Michael Trillo. Wade Phillips is alongside me, as well as David and KT Horrell on stats.
You know, 2 things that stand out to me on that play: the line getting their push and picking people up, but also Merrill, because he stretched it and he picked up even more yards after.
No Merrill on this play. 4 wide, 2 to each side. McLean pressure to the backside, dumps it short, and will pick up 6 yards over the middle. And London will look for some consistency in their offense as Merrill made that catch. As, you know, they start the second quarter, they're already down 10-0. The Atlanta offense seemingly has gotten everything they've wanted so far. Then Dynasty throws that interception, and it could be London's window back into this one. 2nd and 4. With just 10 minutes to go in the second handoff to the fullback. Iggy Swift gets nowhere. 3rd down.
While I do like fullback runs, I don't think it was necessary on that play. Maybe they were trying to catch him, soft in the middle, but I didn't see where that was necessary right there.
McLean over the middle, and it is dropped. A crushing hit from Jay Miraculous jarred the ball loose, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes J.T. Delaney to attempt a field goal.
And now we'll see. Both kickers on both teams are 100%, but hopefully, knock on wood, I didn't jinx them, but pretty good quality for both these kickers.
It won't be a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. This will be a 45-yarder for Delaney. Snap is down. Kick is away. And it is good from 46 yards officially. That's 1 less than his season long of 47. Delaney remains perfect. And Mark can breathe a little bit that he did not jinx the kicker.
I was setting myself up for failure on that, but luckily I was bailed out by Delaney for sure.
I just realized I called you Mark. I'm with Wade Phillips tonight.
Yeah. Hey, I was rolling with that. You can call me whatever you want.
London on the board. Atlanta back on offense. Kendra Hall, the return from inside the 5. Nice jump cut. Broke a tackle as well. I'm telling you, Kendra Hall, playing her first SFL game, may be the most electrifying player on the field tonight. 2 really great returns so far.
Really and truly. Really and truly. She's provided a spark that gets their offense running and sets them up to just run out the gates.
Dynasty under center on first down. Two-step drop. Throw to the far side on a corner route. And Boo Chisholm takes that one out of bounds after a gain of 6.
Good little out route, 6-yard gain. Really sets them up for anything around the field. And we'll see if Atlanta just can keep this hot start going.
Second down and 4. They have that power formation again. Hollywood up the middle. Hollywood jump cut. And he gets one tackle away and gets almost up to midfield down to the 49-yard line. And that is how BDG Hollywood can hurt you. From pretty much nothing, he finds a gap and he's into the secondary.
He really does. He sees those gaps and just hits that explosive gear and can use. He's got some shakiness, so he can shake past people, spin past them. But he is really something to behold.
Tanner Hendricks made the stop, 1st and 10 for Atlanta at the 49. Dynasty to the far side, and it's caught by Chisholm, and Chisholm breaks a tackle and picks up another first down at the 38-yard line. This Atlanta team leads the league in they are 3rd in the league in yards per game, and they certainly seem to be having the way with their London defense at the moment.
Yes, indeed. At the moment, they are having their way yardage-wise and point-wise. I mean, they're up 7, so they can really do some things on offense that make some other teams jealous for sure.
Dynasty, deep, middle, almost threw another interception as he overthrew Boo Chisholm. And Marquise Reed knocked the ball down.
That was just a bang play. Could have gone either way. Could have been a pass interference or pass defended like it was, or it could have been a catch. But really, defense won on that one, knocked it back.
And on the last BDG Hollywood run, he has passed Ray Bentley to take sole possession of 4th on the all-time running back leaderboard for total yards. So congratulations to BDG Hollywood. And he will get the ball again, looking for a lane, tried to find one and only got 5.
You know, Atlanta's offensive line's really shown up to play today, because without them, Hollywood doesn't have the yards. But I really, if everything keeps going the way it is, he's definitely going to buy his line a steak dinner tonight.
He must do almost every week, because it doesn't seem that he takes a week off, Hollywood. Here is Dynasty on 3rd and 5. Has to move in the pocket. Throws across his body. Oh, what a catch in one-on-one coverage at the 10-yard line. Ooh, Chisholm with a tremendous grab.
Look at that. Just gets up and gets that with a man in his face. Brings him down immediately. But how about that heads-up play? Brings it in. Tough catch. Great catch.
Off Hollywood, and he breaks one tackle, can't get away from the second one. He'll get to the 8-yard line. Boo Chisholm and BDG Hollywood, just a few of the players in today's game that could make moves on all-time leaderboards, and it's one of the main things we'll be following tonight. Told you that Hollywood has already passed Ray Bentley for 4th all-time, and Hollywood already has the most rushing touchdowns of all time with 96.
He's also number 1 in receptions for a running back.
And reception for running back. This time a handoff goes to O'Brien, and he will get stuffed to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 8. On the London side, William Davidson needs 2 tackles for loss to move into a tie for 10th all-time with Rick O'Reilly, and needs 3 to move into a 3-way tie for 8th with Rhett Sawyer and Bobby Long. And Dynasty is ripped down as he threw the ball. William Davidson made this stop. And it is 4th down and 8, and out comes Sammy Steele for the second time.
He's extremely lucky that he got that ball out because while it sets him up for somewhat of a chip shot, that would have set him back a little bit farther.
This will be a 35 or a 25-yarder for Sammy Steele. Already hit one tonight to open the game. Kick is away, and it's right down Main Street from 25 yards. Atlanta extends the lead back to 10 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. Atlanta 13, London 3. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. And if you want more SFL content, our Discord community has podcasts, articles, and highlights about the league, its teams, and its players. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Simulationfl and visit our website at simulationfl.net for more news, features, and information. Return by Zach, just past the 20 to the 22. Now, on the last drive, we saw a little bit of life from the London offense. What do you think they need to do to continue this momentum and try and get back in this game?
I think they need to show some urgency at this point because this lead can only get larger for Atlanta. So they've got to put up some points in a hurry and just keep putting points up. So I suggest definitely some urgency.
McLean again hit as he throws. This time the ball driven to the turf by Billy Ray Valentine. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
And they had nothing downfield because Billy Ray Valentine got to the quarterback before he had a chance to even look downfield. So Billy Ray Valentine has shown up today and has provided some pressure all game long on Angus McLean.
And that's really the second time tonight that the offensive line just could not block BRV, Billy Ray Valentine. It's 2nd down and 10. To the far side, pass is caught on an out route for 2 yards to Fox Highwind. His first catch of the night, 3rd down and 8.
They've really got to go downfield, get some first downs, because the dink and dunk is just not doing it right now.
Well, they got to go downfield now. 3rd and 8 from their own 24-yard line. McLean in the gun alone with 5 receivers to aim at. He goes over the middle, and it's caught in traffic at a 1st down out to the 36-yard line. Vin Kalia makes the grab, moves the chains for the Knights.
Well, they did what they needed. They got the first down, found Kalia, and that's exactly what they needed. And they can just, if they can just keep going downfield, I think, well, they're definitely going to have a better chance because that clock is slowly winding down to where they are running out of time.
Now there was the dreaded all slants pattern. Worked to perfection for the London offense there. They've got a fresh set of downs at the 37. 5 minutes, 13 seconds to go. McLean finds a window underneath. And that is Dayton Rhodes, the tight end, who picks up his first catch of the game. 2nd down and 2.
Inching closer to that first down, setting them up. 44, their own 44. Now, if they can really target the weak spots in the defense, they'll be sitting pretty.
Fullback dives. Swift to 1st down. And that is how you utilize a fullback.
Indeed, that's beautiful play right there. Found that soft spot in the middle of the run D and just exploited it and got right through there.
Joshua Williams highlighted there, already 2 sacks on the day. Up to 4.5 on the season. 1st and 10 right at the midfield stripe. McLean back to pass, throws to the far side. Robert Merrill is one-on-one with Dylan Rowland, and Rowland drives him out of bounds after a gain of 4.
Dylan Rowland really snuffed that play out because he read that the entire way, followed his man, brought him down for only a 4-yard gain, and he really read that perfectly.
2nd down and 6 now from just inside Atlanta territory at the 46. corners really creeping up on the line. Here's another fullback dive, and Iggy Swift will get 3. And he might have got more if not for the tackle of Jay Miraculous.
They really are testing that kind of porous run D for Atlanta. They're testing it any way they can, and you think eventually it's going to pay off for them.
Here is Merrill following his fullback, and he'll pick up a first down to the 36-yard line. And you're right, they're really trying to wear down this Atlanta defense with the run game, and that's probably Merrill's best carry of the night.
It really has been. Their strategy, it seems, on this drive, just wear them down, and we'll see if that really pays off for the rest of the game, because if you can kind of wear them out now, they're going to be soggier later on and just not be able to hold up.
McLean to Swift on the catch, and he'll pick up 4. Iggy Swift, 3 receptions, 13 yards, and a touchdown through the air last week, and has 42 receiving yards overall coming into the game.
They really do like using him, and that's a really important position when it's a big part of your run defense, run offense, and pass.
Over the middle, caught and just shy of the first down are London. That's Dayton Rhodes again, his second catch of the drive. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard.
Really got so close to that first down, and now they're just inches away from a first down. Puts them in a manageable red zone range.
Offset eye, handoff Merrill, and he's dragged down from behind, and he'll lose 2 yards. Josh King dragged him down, and that will be the 2-minute warning of the first half. It'll be 4th down for London when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Live in Atlanta, Georgia, the London offense on the field for 4th down and 2. Will they snap the ball? They've got 18 seconds to decide whether or not to do so. Looks like it's just going to be a hard count here from McLean. Trying to get a mostly youthful defensive line to jump off sides, but they will hold steady. And London burns one of their timeouts. And JT Delaney will come on to try and double the London Knights tally in this first half.
See what they're doing there, and it's not a bad strategy, because why not try for a free 5 yards? Why not? And now they go back to their trusted man and see if they can tack on some points.
Where I have an issue with trying to draw them off sides is in the second half. I don't care what the score is. You do not want to be wasting one of your timeouts like early in the second half to try and, get 5 yards.
That I definitely agree with, because your timeouts in the second half are absolutely precious, and you can't be wasting them trying to get 5 yards on a draw 'em off.
Delaney knocks it through from 44, so he's been good from 44. He's been good from 46. London has 6 points, and they've lowered the gap again.
And now it's Atlanta's turn to answer back, and we'll see what they do on this drive and see if they can put some more points up.
And they've got 3 timeouts in 1:56, so this Atlanta offense runs and guns with the best of them. As I said earlier, top 3 in the league in yards per game, averaging over 400. And Kendra Hall, who's been electric in the return game tonight, this time dropped at the 23-yard line, and that's where Atlanta will start. Atlanta, if you're just joining us and you're asking why is the Swarm replaced their green with gold, these are their championship throwback jerseys. Or I'd say championship tribute jerseys to when they run the season 14 championship. They'll start from the 23-yard line. Minute 53 to go first half. They got a 7-point lead. A fullback dive on first down, and O'Brien gets nothing.
After doing that for O'Brien, really just couldn't get any penetration because they couldn't get any push at the line level, and really just London just shut him down.
Defensive line shifts. Dynasty back to pass. He goes over the top, and it's deflected and incomplete. He was looking for Jamal Whitting on a similar play that got Whitting the touchdown earlier in the quarter.
And London really recognized that route and play combination, said, nope, not going to work again, at least this time.
Dynasty on 3rd and 10. He throws. It's complete to Falco, and Falco's going to be 2 yards short of the line to gain. Nice tackle by Brandon Ewing, and now London may get another chance with 2 timeouts, and it'll be about 30 seconds to go when they actually get the football.
Now, it's all on London. See if they can get a spark on special teams.
Would you have called a timeout there if you were Liam Crowder?
I would have. I absolutely would have, because, that's leaves you with 2 timeouts, and then you've got, over a minute to try stuff.
Not the greatest snap, but the kick is away from Smith and crushed at the 31-yard line is Dustin Zeck. And with 32 seconds left to go in the half, we will throw it to SFL Commissioner back at headquarters for a game break. Cam.
Thank you, Michael. London not the only winless team putting up a fight tonight. Portland and Houston in the 3rd quarter. The Hyenas just did cross the 50 and into scoring range, but Portland hanging tough with Houston. 3-3, 7:20 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, there goes. Look out. Sorry to cut you off, Cam, because Fox Highwind is running down the sideline and into the end zone for a London touchdown.
Wow. That was Angus McLean just threading a needle and just found his man. And also, that was the wide receiver just making everything about that run about him, because he gets past his man and just uses those speed burners and just gets to the end zone. How about that?
Highwind, the minor league standout, with a major touchdown, his 4th of the season. That'll put him over 300 receiving yards for the season as well. And it gets London an extra point away from tying this game.
Never count them out. They're 0-5, but they are no pushover at all. They are putting up some numbers.
Extra point up and good from Delaney, and just like that, we've got a tie ball game with 22 seconds left to go. We thought they may have needed a timeout to try and get down the field. Turns out they didn't need those silly timeouts. They can do one play for 60 yards and pick up a score. Kick all the way from Delaney. Hall from her own 2-yard line tries to work left, running backwards, and goes down to the 18. So after a couple of good carries to begin the game, London's special teams unit keying in on Kendra Hall.
Really and truly, they're closing down any of those gaps, really maintaining their lane assignments, and just shutting down that return game before it starts.
22 seconds, 3 timeouts for Atlanta. And I have a sinking suspicion they may try and just run this one to the half. Dynasty is in the gun. He will go back to throw. He moves in the pocket. He throws it short, and it's batted down with authority by Ewing. 2nd down and 10, 14 seconds left to go. That last touchdown officially 69 yards for Fox Highwind.
That was a dangerous play call, because if they catch that, they are in pick 6 territory, and they really should probably just run it out, because they don't need a pick 6 here.
Yeah. Telemac Scarborough actually was the one that knocked that ball down. Bit of redemption for him after he got burned on an earlier Atlanta touchdown. Now they're in the offset eye with 14 seconds to go. And they will hand it to Hollywood. Hollywood runs left, runs into a brick wall of London Knights and gets 3 yards. And that will take us to halftime. The clock ticks down to 0. We head into the break. Atlanta 13, London 13. Just when you thought it was going to be all swarm all the time, London with a quick strike to tie the game going into the half. And here is Wade Phillips.
You know, really new ball game, new half, and it was the Hollywood show in the first quarter, and then it really became kind of the London show in the second quarter. And Joshua Williams has played phenomenal today, and he is a big reason why London only has 13 points.
The London Knights still looking for their first win on the season, and this would be a huge morale boost if they could get it here at the home of the defending champions, who they themselves are not off to the best of starts, 2-3, although they have run an absolute gauntlet in their first 5 weeks. And you mentioned it was the BDG Hollywood show early, and then they kind of went away from it as the half wore on. As you saw there, the big touchdown to Jamal Wooding, the highlight play for Atlanta of the half. And I think they have to go back to Hollywood and let him pick apart this London defense if they want to be successful in the second half.
Because Hollywood can hurt you so many different ways, because they can, swing it out to him on a swing route, or they can just run it for him. And the London's porous pass defense really sets up to where Hollywood can have 15 yards of a cushion between when he catches the ball and where the first defender is. So really, I would just keep just live and die by Hollywood this game, the second half.
Tie ball game at the half, 13 all between Atlanta and London. Atlanta ran out to a hot start. They led 10-0. Then London came back, made it 10-3. Then it was 13-3, then 13-6, and then right before the end of the half, the 69-yard bomb from McLean to Highwind made it 13 all. And that was your scoring summary of the first half. Both kickers perfect, 2 for 2 tonight. And we get back to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. Second half on tap by Michael Turillo. Wade Phillips is alongside me, as well as David Harrell and Casey Harrell on stats. London with the momentum and the football to start the second half, as Sammy Steele gets ready to kick it off. Dustin Zeck back deep to receive. Kick on the way. 1 yard deep in the end zone, Zeck brings it out, runs into his own man, and will barely get past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
So London gets to be the setting the curve in the second half, and we'll get to see big Angus McLean out there heaving the ball around. And if they can hook up with some of those high-powered receivers, I think they could have a case to win.
5 wide on first down, maybe a statement of intent coming ahead here. McLean throws it underneath Highwind, wrapped up and dropped after a gain of 7. 77 yards on 3 catches for Highwind, the least of which the 69-yard touchdown catch.
That's 25 yards plus change a catch, and that one didn't help his average, but man, that big gain really, that was something.
Second down and 3, McLean under center. 4-man front for Atlanta. Hand off to the fullback, Iggy Swift. And of the 2 fullbacks, Iggy Swift for London and Mitchell O'Brien for Atlanta, I've got to say Swift has been the more effective tonight.
I agree with that. The London offensive line has really opened up yards, lanes for Iggy, and he's really gotten some decent yards with that.
Here's Merrill. Merrill gets a drop for a loss of 2 on his first carry of the second half. Leo Jefferson was back there to make the stop. And it's 2nd and 12.
You know, run-wise, I would almost say Iggy Swift has been more effective than Merrill. But Merrill has been more effective catching them.
On 2nd down and 12. The handoff goes to Merrill, and he doesn't get anything right up the middle. It'll be 3rd down and 12. The run defense for Atlanta came to play, or specifically Leo Jefferson, as he makes his 2nd straight tackle.
That's exactly what I've noticed as well. The run defense came to play. It's the pass defense that's kind of hurt him today.
McLean downfield in a double coverage. It's tipped and intercepted. The 2nd interception off of a deflection tonight. One of them for each team. And Aaron Lee has his 2nd interception of the season.
And that's why we can't have nice things. Because as soon as I compliment someone, they show me wrong. But great defensive play on the tip and catch. But that was quite the little reversal right there.
Blake Hamrick tipped it up into the air, and Aaron Lee came down with it. And now Atlanta will try and stake their claim on this second half. They also go 5 wide first play from scrimmage. Dynasty over the middle into traffic. It's caught. 1st down in the London territory to the 43-yard line. And Boo Chisholm makes the opening grab of the second half for Atlanta.
Threaded the needle to Boo Chisholm, and he's really his favorite target today. Other than Hollywood, Chisholm's been all over the field catching the ball.
Back to pass. In the flat to Hollywood, has a blocker out in front, and he makes the way, and into the end zone goes BDG Hollywood. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Wow, that was a team working all together right there. The tackle swinging out, blocking downfield. You had tight ends, wide receivers blocking downfield, and Hollywood just taking that catch and just sprinting, and just absolutely perfect play by Atlanta.
Did you see the right tackle? B.A. Barakas get out there. He was churning and burning to get out to the sideline to make that block. Good job, big fella. You paved the way for a BDG Hollywood touchdown.
Those 2 defensive backs that saw that tackle running at him just said, nope, I'm getting out of bounds. Please don't hurt me. And Hollywood just said, okay, thanks, guys, and just took off. Man, that was something.
Once Hollywood turns the corner, there's not many defensive players in this league that can catch him. And Atlanta extends the lead to 7. It's 20-13, 8:29 to go 3rd quarter.
And when they go to Hollywood, things happen.
We did say at the half that maybe one of their game plans was to go back to Hollywood because they kind of got away from it towards the end of the first half. Kick all the way from Sammy Steele. Dustin Zeck once again back to receive. And Zeck looking for a lane, won't find it. He'll be down at the 21-yard line.
And now London needs a little magic of their own, just like we saw at the end of the first half. If they can get something like that and just keep on, hey, let's see a barn burner. Let's get, score for score.
I think Atlanta might like that score for score a bit more than London will, but let's see if they can respond immediately. Here is Swift, and Swift gets 1 before he is dropped. 2nd down and 9. This London defense gives up the most points per game in the league, 35.5. So maybe their only way to win this one is to get into a shooting match.
Hey, I mean, a victory is a victory, honestly.
Because we know this Atlanta team can score and score in bunches. Here's a nice little teardrop pass over the middle for a first down. Angus McLean has really impressed me tonight with his poise in the pocket as he finds Dustin Zek for that 12-yard pickup.
Myself as well, because on a few of these big gains that they've had, he's really had blue jerseys in his face.
Seven-step drop from McLean, and he throws it short, and he's got Highwind out there, or excuse me, Kalia out there. And Kalia grabs 7 yards and rumbles out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Looks like they've practiced that a few times. I mean, that was just looked like it was automatic. They could do that in their sleep. I mean, that just looked, it was crisp route, good throw. I mean, that was 7 yards. Hey, they'll take that because they can just keep marching with gains like that.
Ben Kalia, the main receiver so far on this London offense. 480 yards and 2 touchdowns coming into the game. Here's a handoff to Swift, and he will get close to a first down to pick up 1. 3rd and 1 for the London 42.
And the London offensive line really needs to get a push right here. Whether it's running or passing, they really need to play big right here because they definitely need this first down.
Tonight it's been Fox Highwind and Dustin Zek above Kalia, but he still is a dangerous threat. Here is McLean deep over the middle, caught behind the defense and wrestled down at the 25-yard line as Vin Kalia right on cue into Atlanta territory.
He had time to look over that offensive line, look at the routes, and found his man, threaded the needle because that was number 40, Dylan Rowland, that almost tipped it, but just got it right over him.
We were talking about this pregame. Angus McLean is a very big quarterback, 6'6", 260. And he can see over pretty much any defensive lineman you throw at him. He's going to throw it short to Merrill here in the flat. Merrill does a little bit of Hollywood spin move. A little bit of tomfoolery there from Merrill, and he gets 6 yards out of it.
You know, speaking of big Angus McLean, he's actually larger than some of their defensive linemen. So he is a big guy, and he can see over that line, and he is showing some moves today.
2nd and 4. Here's Merrill on a handoff. Merrill, another spin move to pick up a first down. And I'm telling you, if BDG Hollywood has impressed his style onto a running back in this league, it's got to be Merrill, because he's throwing the spin moves, the cutbacks. He's trying to make space.
Really, because he's just making things happen, trying to make people miss, and it's really rubbed off on him.
Playing plenty of time in the pocket. It almost throws a pick. He was lucky that deflected off the hands of Jay Miraculous. 2nd down and 10.
Ooh, Jay Miraculous is just down on himself right there because he had it. That was so close, but hey, incomplete. That works too, but almost had it.
Miraculous, 1 interception on the season so far. But London still has the football. 2nd down and 10 at the 15-yard line. Looking to tie this one up, down 7. McLean, plenty of time in the pocket, throws into double coverage, and this time it is intercepted by Aaron Lee.
He had all the time in the world. He was standing back there. He just tried to thread the needle and just did not work. And that was a clean pick off the tip, and just heartbreaker.
14th interception of the season for Angus McLean, and 3rd for Aaron Lee. That's Lee's 2nd of the ball game. And now Atlanta backed up inside the 5. Will go power I, and Hollywood right up the middle and picks up 2 yards.
Well, it's just a matter of time before Hollywood gets another play that is a big gainer. And if London can limit him specifically, they have a chance to hold him on this drive.
Single back. Dynasty back to pass. Pressure from the backside. He throws a pick at the 15-yard line, and London is back in business. Jack Russell brings it down, his 6th interception of the season.
How about that? Just pick on the other side. Now the pick right back to London, and now they can do something right here, and their defense bailed them out.
Jack Russell was on the honorable mention for Defensive Player of the Week last week, and shows maybe he should go one better this week by intercepting and giving them a chance in the red zone, and it's caught for the touchdown in the back of the end zone. London is an extra point away from once again tying the game, and it's Vin Kalia with the reception.
And there's the Kalia McLean hookup again, and all started with a Jack Russell interception, and one play later, they're in the end zone.
I'm telling you, he took a massive hit to make that play, did Kalia, because Moose Papano got him right in the chest as he was making the catch, but Kalia hung on to the football, and now JT Delaney is out there for the extra point.
And he might want to hang on to that ball after the game because he's going to remember that puppy.
Extra point up and good. We have got ourselves a barn burner here in Atlanta tonight. It's the Swarm 20, the Knights 20. 4:31 to go, third quarter. Nobody can get out ahead in this ball game, and it's been a theme of the season for the new quarterback Bryant dynasty: interceptions, interceptions, interceptions.
That's right, and we that's what we were saying all through pregame was, are we going to see Mr. Consistency, or are we going to see Mr. Hyde where he's, one touchdown and 3 picks here? So it's looking like it's going to be one of those games.
I can't tell sometimes when I watch Atlanta play if I'm watching a football game or I'm watching a washing machine, because now Kendra Hall gets in on the spin cycle and gets up to the 24-yard line.
They really must have classes each practice that they practice that, because everyone does it on their team.
First and 10 at the 24. Up the middle goes O'Brien, and he'll pick up 4 yards.
Both these fullbacks getting involved in this game. Both guys getting some nice chunks of carries, and really can't complain about that.
That was the 5th carry for O'Brien, and he just doubled his total output for the night. He now has 8 yards on the ground. 2nd down and 6. Dynasty back to pass. Here comes the blitz. He throws over the top of it, and Siege Falco has a first down, and he'll get up to the 40-yard line. Once again, thanks to David and KT Horrell on stats tonight.
And there was that spin cycle again. Got to the second level and got past a man with that spin move, and they're showing that patented move all game long.
And all it takes is one for the defender to bite, and then the ball carrier is past him and going down the field. 1st and 10. Dynasty again throws into the flat, and the pass is caught this time by Hall, and it'll be first down. That's actually the first catch of Kendra Hall's career.
Hey, give her the ball.
And they'll keep that one over on the sidelines, I'm sure, for Kendra Hall. Has touched the ball in the return game plenty tonight, but her first catch in play, as we should say.
Yeah, finally got to dabble as a receiver.
2nd down and 1. Hollywood wrapped up and dropped in the backfield, so the London defense has come to play. That was the first tackle of Dean Sammy's career, the Week 6 signing at defensive end. All the rookies getting involved tonight.
That's right. And really, there's a lot of junk back there, so he got that cleaned up perfectly.
Dynasty, blitz coming, throws over the top, and Boo Chisholm comes down with it at the 20-yard line. Excuse me, that's Jamal Wooding comes down with it at the 20-yard line. The tight end again, the deep threat for Atlanta.
Similar play from earlier that resulted in a touchdown, but Bryant Dynasty really made that play happen, because if he doesn't get out of the pocket and throw that across his body, that's nothing happens on that play. But good heads up play by Bryant Dynasty and good catch by Jamal Wooding.
That's all arm strength by Dynasty. Throwing that ball back across his body while moving to his left to find Wooding all the way at the 21, and now Atlanta are in business. Into the flat on the far side, there's Kendall Hall again. Second catch of the drive, gets 6 down to the 15-yard line as we have 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in this third quarter, all tied up at 20.
Red zone territory. Do you think they use Hollywood a little more now, or do they keep using what's been working this drive?
Well, the only other time they've been down here, they've been kept to a field goal. So we'll see where they go. Dynasty, a two-step drop. In the flat, Hollywood puts his defender in the turf with a stiff arm, and BDG Hollywood rumbles home for the touchdown.
And there he goes again, Hollywood, and that's first receiving touchdown of the day. No, that's second. He had that monster of a game, but my goodness, it's the Hollywood show, because as soon as they put him in the use him, he's just miraculous.
BDG Hollywood has extended his lead in the receiving touchdowns by a running back category. That is his 6th of the season. Sammy Steele on for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Atlanta back on top by 7. Swarm 27, Knights 20. A minute 57 to go in the third quarter. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. And we thought this one might be a bit of a snooze fest coming in. We have got a tremendous football game on our hands here. We're not even into the fourth quarter yet.
I mean, we thought it could be go either way, and it has definitely been a great ball game so far.
Dustin Zeck from a yard deep tries to turn the corner and can't do it. So he'll start at the 22-yard line for London. And what surprised me pretty much the most in this game has been the turnovers, because both of these teams have abysmal turnover differentials. They're, in fact, the second and third lowest turnover differentials in the league. I'll get to those stats after this. 1st and 10 for London. Throwing short over the middle is McLean into traffic and a 5-yard gain. Coming into the game, London had a -5, and Atlanta had a -7 turnover differential. So I'm very surprised that we've seen as many changes of possession as we've had tonight.
That's right. I mean, I guess when they need it, they pull it out of their hat. But where has this been all season?
Second down and 5. Swift looking for a lane, cuts it back, gets 2 yards. And it'll be 3rd down and 4.
And it looked like he might have had a lane to the left, but he decided to cut back to the right. But it looked like he might have been able to get a couple 3-4 yards if he would have just stayed to the left.
That was a bit confusing. Joshua Williams brought him down. Now 3rd down and 4. McLean, 2-step drop into the flat. First down for Fox Highwind as he's tackled at the 38-yard line and gets out of bounds. He stops the clock with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter.
You know, this reminds me of last drive when they had that out route, and it was to Kalia, and, you know, it was almost maybe a play or two later that they had that big play. So maybe shades of something to come. I don't know. It could happen.
Yeah. And both defenses in this game are playing so far off the line that, or are at least backing off so far off the line. I'll finish my point after this. 1st down and 10. McLean alone in the backfield. He drops this one over the top and over everybody's head, and incomplete. But both teams' defenses are set so the corners and safeties are playing so far off the line. Those out routes are basically 5 to 10 yard gimmies every time they throw them.
Also, those swing routes, they're giving them, 5, 10, 15 yards of cushion to just run.
Really been helping BDG Hollywood in the pass game. McLean, short, almost intercepted, and it was in and out of the hands of Dayton Rhodes. Something that surprises me, So far tonight, Benji Matson, the tight end for London, has gone without a target.
Ooh, they really need to get him involved. He's been more of a blocker, really, whenever they've kind of thrown all those big bodies out there when they're running it. But at this point, they need some yards.
3rd down and 10 for London. 5 receivers in the formation, 3 to the left and 2 to the right. McLean under center. Takes a 5-step drop. It goes down. Backside pressure gets to him, and the Swarm will turn the ball over.
Chris Porter got the sack, and really Angus McLean kind of just stepped into the sack right there. He had just, right there in the alignment, kind of released him into the quarterback. Unfortunate, but now it's 4th and 17.
First part of the second half for Phil Hunter. With 5 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, they can run this one down to the 4th. They will not do it. Hunter gets the kick away. Hall back deep to receive. Fields it just past the 30 and gets up to the 35. 4's up in the chat. That's at youtube.com/SimulationFL. We head to the final frame. Atlanta with a 7-point lead and the football. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. From the Hive in Atlanta, we head to the 4th quarter. I'm Michael Trevello. Wade Phillips alongside me, as well as David and KT Harrell on stats. Atlanta with a 7-point lead, 27-20. They've got the ball at their own 35-yard line in a power I formation. And Brian Dynasty dropped back to pass, and he went down immediately.
That was the defensive end, Dean Sammy, and really Brian Dynasty had absolutely no time to do anything. Dean Sammy just got right up in there and brought him down immediately.
Second out of 14, a high snap, corralled, and Dynasty throws it down the field, and it's high-pointed beautifully at midfield. And that's Jamal Wooding down the field again, tight end, the deep threat for Atlanta.
My goodness, he really is. He is a vertical threat because they are just throwing it up for him to bring down, and he is getting it more times than not. And he has really, really impressed me today with his receiving ability.
6'6", Jamal Wooding is at least 2 inches taller than every defensive back that the London Knights have.
Not only that, but he can get vertical and climb that ladder and bring the ball down.
Dynasty in the flat for Hollywood. Plenty of space for the man to run, and he will pick up a first down into London territory at the 33-yard line. Eventually had to be run out of bounds by Telemac Scarborough.
And there's that cushion and swing pass that we've been talking about. He really took advantage of it that time. Probably got 15 yards on that.
Yeah. Marquise Reed, pushed him out of bounds that time. 1st and 10 from the 33. Atlanta trying to put this one out of reach. The biggest lead in this game has been 10. Atlanta has had that on multiple occasions in the first half. Here's Hollywood this time to the near side right. He spins out of a tackle and he stretches forward for the first down. Speed, power, dexterity, you get it all with number 34.
He is just something to behold, isn't he? I mean, he runs hard, he catches the ball and runs hard after catching the ball. He is just phenomenal and showing why he is an absolute legend.
I half expected him to break that second tackle too.
Definitely, I didn't think you're gonna bring him down.
7 catches, 131 yards. He had 304 receiving yards coming into the game and 4 touchdowns. He's now up to 6 receiving touchdowns. Dynasty, middle, to the 5, caught by Kendra Hall. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
And Kendra shows up huge again on this drive, and she has really become a staple of this team on these past 2 drives because she has shown up very large in the most clutch situations that they need her in.
And inside the 5, they haven't run Hollywood in the red zone all game long. They won't do it now. Dynasty goes down under pressure from the London front line. It's going to be a loss of 4 back to the 9-yard line.
So talking strategy. Now, since they got a 7-point lead, 8:30 left, would you just kind of, now that you're kind of near where you can pretty much just make a chip shot, would you run the ball as much as possible right here?
I mean, I'm hyper aggressive, so I would say let's try and put the nail in the coffin. Dynasty to Hollywood. Try to close the show. Goes to the 1-yard line and touchdown Hollywood. It's a hat trick.
Call it a touchdown, or they?
I'm pretty sure they called it a touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no,
We
that
couldn't
was
see-
phenomenal.
Yeah, we couldn't see the referees from our vantage point. And usually that's who you look to, but it looked like he got across the line. I've definitely been fooled before. But I was pretty confident that PDG Hollywood got in that time. Now,
Yeah, on second effort at least.
extra point up and good from Sammy Steele. It's a 14-point lead for Atlanta. It's their largest lead of the night, and London has a mountain to climb with 8:10 left to go.
Ooh, London's calling, and they need to really answer, because they are slowly sinking into that slump.
And the question is, who will answer? Because outside of a couple big plays, the big interception to set up the touchdown, the long pass to Fox Highwind for the score, there really hasn't been much out of London tonight. Both of their scoring drives have been under 5 plays.
And now we're going to see which London we're going to see. Is it going to be the big play, or is it going to be 3 and out, or interception for that matter?
I mean, London's been very conservative outside of those few times that I mentioned where they ended up getting touchdowns. So maybe they try and go big here. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. It's another fullback dive, and Swift picks up 2. And I might be okay with that if they were up 34-20, but down by 14, I'm confused.
Yeah, same. I mean, they need desperation at this point. They need 2 scores, and they need it as fast as possible.
Lane changes the play at the line. 7:30 to go. Merrill up the middle. Spin move. 2 spin moves. And he picks up 6 yards. 3rd down and 4 from the 30-yard line. Another run. And we will send it to Cam and Irvine in the SFL studio. We have a major game break alert. Take it away, Cam.
Thank you, Michael. After Portland did not score a touchdown in 18 straight quarters, they've scored 2 in the last 3 minutes. And Houston is reeling. 45 seconds. The game is tied at 17.
Thank you, Cam. It'll be 1st down, London. And we do have a flag on the play. We'll see what it is.
Number 62, defense.
And it's offsides against Atlanta. That's Benji Matson's first catch and first target of the game. He picks up a 1st down for the Knights.
Never too late to get started, and they finally involved him, and I was on a free play.
In free play, take what you can get, and they got a 1st down at the 39-yard line. McLean, short over the middle. That one's almost intercepted. Somehow finds its way into the hands of Dayton Rhodes for a 5-yard gain.
On that previous play, it was Chris Porter that jumped off into the neutral zone, but good little hookup. But they are running out of clock, and they need to get something started.
6:15 to go in the ball game. London down 14, and another fullback dive for no yards to Iggy Swift. And I mean, I gotta hand it to the defensive line and front 7 as a whole for Atlanta. They've stayed home and they haven't bit on those fakes.
That's right, and they're mainly rookies. 3 rookies out of 4, and they've really shown that they've got some talent on that defensive line.
3rd down and 4. McLean going to go to the air. Plenty of time. Stands in the pocket and over the middle, complete to Fox Highwind across midfield to the Atlanta 45-yard line.
Nice one-handed catch, it looked like, and that's something you don't see every day, and they'll take that. But if they can parlay that into a touchdown, they need to.
Now in plus territory at the 45. 7 in the box for Atlanta. They only bring 4. Plenty of time for McLean, and he almost throws a pick. And going the wrong way is Highwind. He's going to lose 8 yards on the play.
Oh, no, that's not what you need. I really thought that was going to be a pick 6 because I saw Blue Jersey just jump that route 42 that almost got it, Jay Miraculous. But honestly, that worked out just like, a sack.
An interception probably would have sealed the deal. And 2nd down and a mile. 18 yards to get a 1st down. The last time they were in 2nd and 3rd and deep, they did pick up the 1st down. They converted a 3rd and 16 in the 2nd quarter. But this is a swing pass to Maryland to lose another yard. And now 3rd down and 19. And they go hurry up here. 4:50 to go. McLean downfield, tipped in the air, incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 19. Peyton Chisholm knocked the ball, Aquata Shine knocked the ball down.
That was dangerous because that could have ended the game right there. Just threw it into a sea of blue jerseys, and luckily they kind of escaped with no true harm on that.
When I have a moment, I will give you the out-of-town scoreboard. Over the middle, they go for it on 4th down. They're going to be very close, and it is not going to be enough. Moose Papador with the tackle, a half-yard short for Fox Highwind.
Moose Papador coming up gigantic there to stop him, and my goodness, is that just the biggest play of the day, just for the defense anyways.
That may have been the nail in the coffin, as they caught me off guard. They also probably caught the Atlanta defense off guard, going for it on 4th and 20. And now Hollywood rumbles out to midfield. Here's the out-of-town scoreboard. 2 games earlier today, Lone Star beat St. Louis 23-17. Sioux Falls bounced back with a win over Tulsa 31-17. And it is 17-all between Houston and Portland in the game going on concurrent to our own. At midfield, they go power I. And here's Hollywood, up the gut. Breaks 1 tackle, gets 3 yards. 5 games on Sunday. It starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, with Vancouver hosting Mexico City. Queen City hosts Las Vegas at 2:30 p.m. It's the game of the day at 4:30 p.m. The crowd play game of the week as Denver hosts Arizona. Baltimore and Louisiana at 8 p.m. And also at 8 p.m. it's Carolina and Chicago. 2nd and 7 for Atlanta after the Hollywood run. In the flat, Hollywood, plenty of space to motor. He makes a man miss. 2 spin moves will take him all the way to the 34-yard line of London. Another move of the chains and the clock down under 3.5 minutes to go. And then Monday night, 2 games to close out the week for you. Florida and Fort Worth, 2 teams coming off big wins last week. And Charleston and Jacksonville, those come your way 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, respectively. That's your out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the Simulation Football League, downloaded today from the Apple or Google Play Store. Atlanta trying to close the show here, up 14 with under 3.5 minutes left. They got a 1st down and 10 at the London 34. Another handoff to Hollywood. This time he'll be dropped behind the line of scrimmage, a 2-yard loss.
You know,
And
it's not the worst thing though, because I mean they kill some clock and just keeps that clock churning until the 2 minute. It's only 2nd and 12, so hey, they've still got plenty of time to just keep milking the clock.
this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning, as there's currently 2 minutes 50 seconds to go and counting. Here's the power eye again for Atlanta. Handoff. Up the middle for Hollywood. He gets 4 yards up to the 32. Cassidy makes the tackle. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
You know, I would say that most definitely Atlanta's run defense played much better than London's pass defense, and that is a major reason why the score is what it is right now.
Third and 8 from the Knights' 32-yarder.
We have hit the 2-minute warning. Atlanta 34, London 20. The Swarm try to milk the clock, get back to 500. London looking to go, looks like they're going to go 0-6. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Welcome back to the High for the final time. Michael Tomino, Wade Phillips, alongside me in commentary. David and KT Harrell on stats. Here is Hollywood up the middle. He'll get 1. It'll be 4th and 7. London calls their first timeout. And we have confirmation that the Portland Fleet have won their first game in franchise history. They win 20-17 over Houston. Congratulations to Jacob Bouvette and the entire team over there in the Pacific Northwest.
Good for him getting that record started. Good for him.
This will be a long one as Steele lines one up. This will be from 37, and it is, 47, and it is good. Sammy Steele, still a perfect 9 for 9 on the season.
And that keeps both these kickers perfect on this season. And really, it's, how many times did we see a punt today? 3 times?
I could probably count it on one hand. I think 4.
Yeah.
I think each team's had 2.
I love it. When we get to see more offense than special teams, I'm all for it. I know these coaches probably are pulling their hair out right now, but it sure makes my job easier.
Well, London has now given up their average on defense. They average 35.5 points against per game, and Atlanta now leading 37-20. We said they would have to win a shootout to get it done, and the offense went cold here in the second part of the second half. McLean going to try to get it done, though. Down 17 with 1:49. Maybe try and get something back on the scoreboard. He's going to throw down the field. It's going to be caught. And up towards the 50 is Vin Kalia. Second timeout for London with 1:43 left.
Don't count it out. I mean, stranger things have happened. And it's no guarantee that Atlanta definitely wins this game, because London just needs, 3 touchdowns. And actually 2 touchdowns and an extra point, or a field goal. But hey, don't count them out.
So, in answer to your question, there have been 4 punts in this game. 2 for each team.
2 for each. Yep, that sounds about right.
First and 10. McLean is going to go down for a huge sack all the way back past the 40-yard line of the 39. A loss of 10 yards on the sack. And everybody scrambles to get back to the line with only a single timeout left.
And that was BRV again on that
Oh, it's
interception.
tipped and almost intercepted. Sorry to cut you off there, but
No,
Jay
you're good.
Miraculous almost. That is the second time he's almost taken one to the house tonight.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself, because that's the second time indeed. And but hey, if they get the win, they'll take it. But it's a personal stat that he's going to be bummed about.
Third down, 20. Minute 23 to go. London trails by 17. McLean, as he throws, it's underthrown and incomplete. He was looking for Dayton Rhodes down the field.
Not much on that, kind of a desperation heave, because he had people all around him, and he just had to get it out, even though it could have been a very bad situation.
4th and 20 now, minute 19 to go. McLean takes the snap. Plenty of time, throws down the field, it's caught inside the 30 in double coverage. Dayton Rhodes doing a little bit of work here down the stretch.
McLean padding his stats a little bit, but trying to keep him in this ball game. Unfortunately, he's really running out of time, and there's not much left they can do about it without any timeouts. But hey, he's shown that he's not going to give up.
Five wide again, McLean under center, minute 13 to go. McLean hit as he threw, and the ball hit the turf. Josh King, who has a sack on the night, came through and knocked it out of his hand.
And that's just the story of this day, really. London, at least the story of the second half for London. They started out, that first half on fire, kind of, but really petered off that second half.
McLean to the 5. It's caught and down to the goal line. They're going to mark him down to the 3-yard line. That was Stannis Lazenby with the catch. And now from 1st and goal, McLean under pressure, down he goes. And they have no timeouts to burn, now down under a minute to go.
On that one. Joshua, excuse me.
Williams with the sack, and just a quick little out of bounds to stop the clock. Dustin Zek, and it'll be 3rd and goal from the 7.
Now they can just try to make it, two. Now they've got 2 shots to get it into the end zone, and see if they can put it together.
42 seconds left. London looking for some consolation here at the end of the ball game, down 37-20. 3rd and goal from the 7. McLean drops back to pass, immediately has pressure in his face, throws over the top of the defense, and touchdown London. As they pad the stats a little bit, and Lazenby finishes off that drive.
And Lazenby gets that touchdown, but unfortunately, it's just padding stats at this point, because less than 40 seconds not going to get you 2 more touchdowns.
Yeah, and unfortunately, even if they go for 2, they'd still be down 9 and would need 2 scores.
Yep. 3-point ball game with less than 45 seconds. Really tough task.
Extra point is up and good with 39 seconds left. Atlanta 37, London 27. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. So, Wade, we've got a great slate of games still to come this weekend. Anyone stand out to you? We've got 5 on Sunday and 2 on Monday night.
The 2 on Monday night for me are really the big ones in my mind.
Here comes the onside kick right into the hands of Atlanta. And that will do it. Just a single kneel down necessary to get the clock to 0.
Yep, and we got our money's worth for sure today, and I'm very proud with how this game went, just action wise.
And not dominated by Atlanta for the most part. You may be coming in late looking at the score and go, man, Atlanta must have dominated this one. It was very close. It was tied at 13 at half. And the final kneel down comes in. And we will see this one out to the end with 30 seconds left. But London made a game of it. And they've been close a couple of times.
They've shown they're not really going to get blown out. They're going to be competitive. They just need just a few more pieces, put a couple things together, and I think they could be a factor when in a season or two when they can get some definite pieces and put some stuff together. I think they could definitely be good.
3 of their 6 losses have been one-score games, and now this one, despite the 10-point deficit scoreline, was very, very close. But we have a final from the Hive in Atlanta. The Atlanta Swarm, 37. The London Knights, 27. The Swarm get back to even 500. They are 3-3. The London Knights are 0-6. Wade Phillips, count us off.
Well, Hollywood, my definite player of the game. He had 3 receiving touchdowns, over 100 receiving yards. He had over double receiving yards than he did rushing yards. He had a fantastic day. And also, another game ball goes to the Atlanta defense, rush defense in particular, because that was kind of their weakness going into the game, and they really showed that they can bring it when they need to.
Talked at the beginning of the game that Hollywood receiving may be the key, and we had it right on the money.
That's right, and he 163 yards receiving and 52 yards rushing, so that's 3 times as much receiving yards as rushing yards. But fantastic day for the fella, and he's got to have a huge grin on his face for that productive day.
Gotta shout out both Kendra Hall and Dean Sammy, who made their debuts tonight. Kendra Hall, 3 receptions, 33 yards, and also did a lot of work in the return game today. Sammy had 2 tackles as well, both in the second half. And as you see, the Hollywood 3rd touchdown, he barely got the ball over the pylon, but it did count. Wyatt Dynasty threw 2 picks, but it did not come back to bite him. Also threw 2 touchdowns as he continues his strong rookie campaign. And both kickers, JT Delaney and Sammy Steele, remain perfect on the season. Steele 9 for 9. Delaney 8 for 8. And you've already given me your player of the game. It's with BDG Hollywood. I don't think you can give it to anybody else. But if you had to give it to someone else, who do you think gets it?
To me, I would say either maybe Joshua Williams, Billy Ray Valentine, or Jamal Wooding. But Hollywood's the man.
Obviously, BDG Hollywood, 168 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns through the air to lead the Swarm to victory. Once again, your final score: Atlanta 37, London 27. That'll be it from the Eye in Atlanta. Thank you for tuning in all of your Saturday to our 4 games today. For David Hurl and KT Hurl on stats, Wade Phillips on analysis, I have been Michael Trevillo, and we sign off tonight with a moment of silence for Rich Pratchett. Good night, everybody.